The Holy Book, Sefer Kav Hayashar, Episode 59. The Torah commands us, your camp shall be holy, Devarim 23.15. This means that a person must maintain his body and limbs in a state of holiness, for they are the camp of the Shekhinah. This is the meaning of the verse, and I will be sanctified within the children of Israel, Vayikra 22.32, and the verse, and I will dwell within them, Shemos 25.8. But if he adopts bad ways, heaven forbids, giving himself over to the pursuits of worldly pleasures, then his body becomes abode of the Satan and the lilies, heaven spare us. Therefore, one should be in the habit of praying, Master of the universe, enable me to remain pure and to become a throne for the Shekhinah. Let my soul bless Hashem and all my innards, his holy name. Tehillim 103.1. When Israel sins, the Shekhinah abandons them, and it is said, and the ark went up from upon the earth. Bereshit 7.17. The Shekhinah is referred to in the Zohar 1.68b as the ark, Teva, because the letters of the word Teva, Saf, Yud, Vez, Hey, also spell out the words Beis Hashem. Vez, Yud, Saf, Hashem, Hey. For this reason, there are exactly 248 words in the Shema, corresponding to the 248 limbs of the body, so that when a person recites the Shema with concentration, each word imparts sanctity to one of his limbs. Zohar Chadash 59a. This might cause someone to wonder why it is. The numerous individuals that recite the Shema with great care and intention, yet their limbs remain frail nevertheless. You must know, my son, that this matter is discussed in the Zohar in Parsha Shalach 168a. There it is explained that the human soul resembles a lamp. When a lamp does not burn properly, the usual remedy is to shake it a bit, which causes the flame to burn more brightly and to shed light as it should. But this is only true if the lamp is of good quality. For if it is of poor quality, then on the contrary, shaking it will extinguish it. Similarly, if a person sins, thereby preventing his soul from shedding light as it should, the Holy One, blessed is He, sends him afflictions to shake him up and to agitate his body and limbs. If he accepts his afflictions with love, acknowledging that they are not without cause, and that Hashem does not chastise unjustly, and if he regrets the past and resolves to make amends and establishes fences for the future, then his soul will again illuminate as formerly, and even more so. However, if he does not accept them with love, rebelling against them instead, then his afflictions may abate for a time. If he returns to his evil ways and deeds, they will return with greater force until they eliminate him from the world. Thus his lamp, example, his soul, is extinguished and descends with him to the depths of the pit. When the Beis HaMikdash was standing, a person would bring a sacrifice and make confession over it, at the same time repenting for his sin. Then the Kohanim would slaughter the animal and sprinkle its blood on the altar and burn its fat. All this was in place of the sinner's own body and limbs, which had incurred a sentence of death through his sin. Thus the sacrifice served as the rectification for his limbs. Nowadays, however, the recitation of the sacrifices must take the place of offering them, as it is written, and let us pay for the bullocks with our lips. Hosea 14.3. Maharam the Babylonian, Ta'amei HaMitzvot 64, writes that when a person recites the portion of the sacrifices, he should have in mind that the letters on the page represent the body of the sacrifice, while the vowels animating them represent the soul of the sacrificial animal. In this way, it is considered as if he actually offered a sacrifice on the altar. The importance of reciting the portion of the sacrifices every day should not be underestimated. Every morning, a certain malignant spirit called Tola is aroused. Shar HaKavanos, Tefillas HaShachar 13b, Pri Eitz Chaim, Shar Olam HaAsiyah, Part 3, and begins lodging accusations against Israel for the sins they had committed at night. As long as the Beis HaMikdash was standing, the Kohanim were able to weaken its power through the offering of the morning daily sacrifice. Nowadays, one should instead have this in mind when reciting the portion, a continual burnt offering ordained at Mount Sinai, Bamidbar 28.6. For the word continual burnt offering, Olas Tamid, is the reverse of the name Tola. If a person behaves with arrogance, he gives power to this malignant spirit, whereas by conducting himself with humility, in emulation of the sacrifices, he weakens it. Thus it is written, God will not despise a broken and contrite heart. Tehillim 51.19. Concerning this, David wrote, and I am a worm, Tola'as, and not a man. Tehillim 22.7. The main point is that the recitation of the portion of the sacrifices is a matter of great importance. This is especially true of the portion of the incense. Thus the Zohar relates Parshas Vayera 101a. Rabbi Acha went to the village of Tarsha and stopped at an inn. The people of the village whispered to one another, a great scholar had arrived. Let us go to him. So they went to Rabbi Acha and revealed to him that their town was in a dreadful situation because of the past 7 days a plague had been ravaging them. May the merciful one protect us. And each day was worse than the day before. Whereupon Rabbi Acha announced, tomorrow we will go to the synagogue and seek mercy from the Holy One, blessed is He. While they were walking, messengers arrived to inform them that 2 more people had died, while another 2 were in critical condition. Rabbi Acha responded, now is not the time for us to stand idle. Every moment is crucial. Select from among yourselves 40 pious and righteous men and divide them into groups of 10. Then let them stand at the 4 corners of the city. 10 shall stand to the east, 10 shall stand to the south, 10 shall stand to the west, and 10 to the north, myself included. They did this for 3 days, even dispatching messengers to the homes of the critically ill, instructing them to recite the portion of the incense, beginning with the verse. And Moshe said to Aaron, take the pan and put upon it incense. Bamidbar 17:11. The people complied and the plague abated. After which Rab Acha said, now let us return home, for the decree has been annulled. Then a voice was heard saying, O pestilence, do not come here anymore, because they know how to nullify you. This caused Rab Acha to become disheartened. But then he dozed off, and in his sleep he heard a voice saying, just as you have done here, so shall you do in another city. Finally, he continued on his way, admonishing the people never to neglect the study of Torah. Later on, the people changed the name of their town to Masa Mechasya, City of Pity, because the Holy One, blessed is He, had taken pity upon them. In light of this, let every person recite the portion of the incense as well as the beresa of the making of the incense. Pitum hakatoris. Every day, for this is a great benefit. Whoever prays with concentration is assured that his prayers will be accepted, and the Holy One, blessed is He, will do His will and fulfill His request for the good. Amen.